Okay, I've got to get this off my chest. It's a little early here, so I'm keeping my voice down, but I just want to say a few things about this new Netflix movie, A Family Affair. First of all, gosh, these titles are just so, like, the genericness of the title is so overwhelmingly generic. Um, it just bowls you over with its mediocrity from the start, from the very title. Uh, there's this has been done a million times before. You know, that's sort of what the title is telling you. There's nothing really original to see here. And that would be fine. That would be completely inoffensive. And let me also say, I don't care that this is a movie that's geared towards women viewers. That's fine, you know. There can be movies made for women. There can be movies made for men, although, are there movies made for men, really, anymore? I guess maybe something like Bad Boys Ride or Die is unabashedly made for men, but I haven't seen it, because I guess I'm not a real man. Anyway, there's a difference between a movie that's made for a certain demographic and a movie that just unctuously flatters the demographic for which it is being made. And A Family Affair crosses that line so many times. It's just sickening, really. It's let me just try to set this up. I'll just give a brief thumbnail of the plot. So it's set in Hollywood, amongst the rich and glamorous, but we're supposed to sort of see the main two women characters as not being really rich or glamorous, even though they're both attractive and live in a really nice house and you know, live very comfortable lives. We're supposed to sort of to see them as the underdog somehow, or I don't know. Like, it's really weird to me that this is the kind of movie that really wants to have it both ways in every way. They want you to see these rich, pampered women as underdogs, as scrappy fighters for something or other. I don't know. I don't even know what. You know, this is a movie that definitely wants to have it both ways, but isn't terribly convincing in its manipulations. So one of these so there's this mother-daughter team. There's, you know, the mother, played by Mrs. AMC Theaters herself, formerly Mrs. Tom Cruise, now Mrs. Who is she Mrs. to? I don't remember. I don't keep up with these kinds of things. But so Nicole Kidman is the aging but still beautiful mother, and her daughter is what's her name? Joey King, who was in some Disney movies as a kid, and now she's a young adult. Anyway, so Joey King her character is the personal assistant of Zac Efron. Now, here's where the movie, with the character played by Zac Efron, this is where the movie really, really tries hard to have it both ways. Because he is both, well, let me just put it this way. As the movie begins, he's depicted as just a narcissistic twit. And, he's got, he's got Joey King, who's a girl, by the way, even though her name's Joey. That's the actress's name. Can't remember the character's name. It's not worth remembering. But she's his personal assistant, and she does all this demeaning stuff. She has to, go and get him, stuff from the grocery store at all hours of the night. And when he wants to break up with his latest girlfriend, she has to go and get him like diamond earrings to give to her, so that they can break up, so that he can break it off with her. And he's depicted doing these kinds of things just heartlessly, and just being, as I said, just a narcissistic movie star, which I'm sure was a reach for the actor. And he's in all these stupid action movies. So the film, sort of takes aim at dumb action movies. Okay, so that's like I mean, there was Tropic Thunder. When was that? Nearly 20 years ago. That sort of should have been the last word on making fun of actors who star in dumb, over-budget action movies. But I guess that you can never have enough of that sort of thing. So he's just this complete douche, this completely unlikable person. And she eventually just has had it with him, and she tells him that she quits. And he of course needs her, doesn't want her to leave his side, but there's no romantic tension between the two of them, which is where you would expect it to be, because these are two characters that are closer in age, where a romance would make a lot more sense, but that's not who this movie is being made for. This movie is being made for older women. And that's why when he comes over to her house to try to talk her into being his personal assistant again, he meets her mother. So she still lives with her mother. Her father is dead, has been dead for 11 years. More on him in a second, because his memory, the memory of the dead husband / father, also has to be insulted in this movie made for today's woman. No male character, even the one who doesn't even make an appearance in the film, even one who's been dead for 11 years has to be insulted in absentia. But I'll get to that in a second. So once Efron's character comes over and visits and meets Nicole Kidman, of course the sparks fly, right? Her daughter is out she's not there, but the two of them strike up a conversation and they bond. Nicole Kidman talks about how she lost her husband, and Zac Efron talks about how he lost his brother, and yeah, the sparks are flying, and they end up in the bedroom. And of course, this is so predictable. Of course, Joey King comes home and comes upon them. How's it put? In flagrante delicto. I'm not sure how you say that phrase. I probably shouldn't be using it, but she opens the door to her mom's room heedlessly and sees them screwing. Sees her boss and her mom, who's like 25 years older than her boss, making mad, passionate love on her mother's bed. And we saw that coming a mile away. But anyway, so there's all kinds of artificial drama after that. She agrees, the daughter agrees to go back and work for him again, but makes him promise to break it off with her mother because he's just had a series of he's just basically been a user of women. He's a pump and dump kind of guy, and as I said, when he's with her, and when we meet him early on, he's just this douchey person with really no redeeming characteristics. But once he comes over and meets with the mom, then he becomes this charming, romantic hero, and we're supposed to want to see them together. We're supposed to want to see the age gap. We always hear about age gaps these days. Oh, I don't like the age gap. The age gap is such an ick. Well, it doesn't apply here. There's no kvetching about this age gap when it's a hot younger guy and a menopausal or postmenopausal woman. That's completely fine. So let's see, what else can I say about this movie? There's a lot of just artificial drama where the daughter's just I don't know, she's just being a brat. She ruins their Christmas by I haven't even gotten started on the grandmother character played by Kathy Bates. Oh my God, who's just this like fount of folksy womanly wisdom. She just, or actually, she's. I said she was Nicole Kidman's mom, but she's not. She was the mom of Nicole Kidman's husband, who died, but who's still close to her. Anyway, Nicole Kidman's character is a successful author. So she's this glamorous, this aging woman who's still beautiful and glamorous, and also, extremely intellectual, and a success at everything, and but we're still supposed to see her as, I don't know, in some way having been put upon, you know, because, well, as she reveals when she has this conversation near the end of the movie with Kathy Bates, her mother-in-law, who she's close to. Actually, at the beginning of the movie, I was sort of thinking, okay, where's the lesbian angle? Because there's got to be lesbian stuff in this movie. This is a movie that's made for Netflix in 2024. Of course, there's got to be lesbian stuff. And it turns out that the lesbian stuff is mostly just they just have the representation, the LGBT representation is just Joey has a screenwriter friend who's a lesbian, but it's completely, of course, has nothing to do with anything. It's just they just have to throw it in. She's also Asian, by the way, so further representation. Um, but I thought at first when I saw Kathy Bates and Nicole Kidman talking in an early scene, and there was sort of this suggestion of some kind of, you know, emotional intimacy between them. I was thinking, God, are they lovers? But no, it turns out that Kathy Bates is Nicole Kidman's mother-in-law. I'm not sure if that exactly works. Kathy Bates, is she like around 70 and Nicole Kidman's around 60? So, I mean, maybe that works if she had her son, who later became Nicole Kidman's husband, you know, at a rather young age, and Nicole Kidman had her daughter at a much later age. I don't know. It just doesn't exactly work. They seem much closer in age to one another than they would be if this were real life. But if this were real life, then a lot of things would be different. It's not real life. It's a wish fulfillment. It's a female wish fulfillment fantasy. But what we find out near the end is Nicole Kidman tells Kathy Bates that her son was actually kind of a jerk near the before he got sick. Okay, so before that it was like, oh, he you know, he I guess got cancer or something like that, and then died, and that was sad for everybody. But before that, we learned that he worked hard on writing a book, and when he published his book, it basically landed with a thud and got no traction at all. And then she wrote a book, and it became an instant success. And he hated that. He couldn't handle it. His male ego couldn't handle it. He wanted a divorce. So we've got this dead guy. Like you know, it's okay to pick on men even when they're dead. Even after they're dead. It's a dead husband and a dead you know, father to this young girl that she has. Suddenly now, you know, he was actually a jerk and he was consumed by ego. But then he got sick, so we put that all aside and you know, and took care of him while he was dying. But now, you know, she wants to be with this young stud, you know, who's like 30 years her junior. I'm not kidding. Like, you know, close to 30 years younger. And her folksy mom-in-law, instead of saying, "What are you doing, you whore?" she says to her, "You know what, girl? You deserve something good in your life." And gives her blessing. And so, yeah, so they end up together. And it, like, again, it's so transparent, like, and I think in a less shameless period of history, a movie like this would have been made with a little bit more delicacy, and there would have been it wouldn't be quite so intent on valorizing uh, the older woman in every way by making her beautiful and successful and glamorous, uh, and like she, but also really virtuous, and you know um, and ultimately, she was a better person than her husband, because not only was she more successful, but she was uh, less petty than he was. He couldn't handle her success, but she just rolled with it, and and then even took care of him while he was dying, and has never been with anybody since then. And then she just jumps in bed with this guy, with her daughter's boss, when he comes over and visits her for the first time. But we're not supposed to see that as inappropriate at all. This was brutal. This was brutal to watch. Um, I wish I could have been more succinct in this review, but man, this was just a brutal watch. This was, um, as I said, just without shame. Um, and the younger woman, of course, again, it's all part of the message, is all part of the agenda. The younger woman has no romantic prospects at all in this movie. She's not. There's no romantic tension between her and her, good-looking boss. Because with her, he's actually kind of effeminate. He's like sort of like, oh, I need you to do all these things for me, but I can't live without you. Your help is so valued. So somehow there's like, I don't know if we're supposed to see it as like he's an uncle type figure to her or something, but for some reason there's never any whisper of any kind of romantic tension between the two younger characters. But once he sees her 60-year-old mom, he's smitten. And she's smitten, and they wind up in bed, discovered by her daughter later that day. It's just like, and as I said, he just transforms at will. When he's with her, when he's with Joey King, the younger girl, he has to be, this douchey, unlikable, but still somehow lovable boss. Like, she can't handle being asked to do all these demeaning things for him, but yet at the same time, she likes him and cares for him, but not with any kind of romantic attachment. Yeah, and then she's promoted and she becomes some big shot in Hollywood, but she's doing it all on her own because sisters are doing it for themselves. I mean, so again, the movie tries to advance the agenda of you don't need no man, but then it also wants to have it both ways by saying, well, you need every older woman needs a young hunk. Deserves to be with a young hunk after putting up with this, petty husband who had to go and die of cancer. That selfish bastard. Uh, now, she's gone 11 years without intimacy. She deserves this. God. Oh, this was so painful. This was so painful. I somehow got all the way through it just because of a sick fascination with it. Anyway, that's A Family Affair, which you can now watch on Netflix if you're a masochist or an older woman, in which case you'll probably like it.